The Titanic. Titanic was a British passenger liner that sank in the North Atlantic Ocean in 1912 during her maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City. Of the estimated 2,224 passengers and crew aboard, more than 1,500 died, making it one of modern history's deadliest peacetime commercial marine disasters. Titanic was the largest ship afloat at the time she entered service and was the second of 3 Olympic-class ocean liners operated by the White Star Line. She was built by the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast. Thomas Andrews, chief naval architect of the shipyard at the time, died in the disaster. Titanic was under the command of Captain Edward Smith, who also went down with the ship. The ocean liner carried some of the wealthiest people in the world, as well as hundreds of immigrants from Great Britain and Ireland, Scandinavia and elsewhere throughout Europe, who were seeking a new life in the United States. Although Titanic had advanced safety features such as watertight compartments and remotely activated watertight doors, it only carried enough lifeboats for 1,178 people, about half the number on board, and 1/3 of the total capacity due to outdated maritime safety regulations. The ship carried 16 lifeboat davits which could lower 3 lifeboats each, for a total of 48 boats. However, Titanic carried only a total of 20 lifeboats, 4 of which were collapsible and proved hard to launch during the sinking. On April 14th, 4 days into the crossing and about 375 miles, 600 kilometers, south of Newfoundland, she hit an iceberg at 11:40 p.m. ship's time. The collision caused the hull plates to buckle inwards along her starboard, right side and opened 5 of her 16 watertight compartments to the sea. She could only survive 4 flooding. Meanwhile, passengers and some crew members were in lifeboats, many of which were launched only partially loaded. A disproportionate number of men were left aboard because of the women and children first protocol for loading lifeboats. At 2:20 a.m., she broke apart and foundered with well over 1,000 people still aboard. Just under 2 hours after Titanic sank, the Cunard liner RMS Capt arrived and brought aboard an estimated 705 survivors. The disaster was met with worldwide shock and outrage of the huge loss of life and the regulatory and operational failures that led to it. Public inquiries in Britain and the United States led to major improvements in maritime safety. One of their most important legacies was the establishment in 1914 of the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, (CELIS), which still governs maritime safety. The wreck of Titanic was discovered in 1985, more than 70 years after the disaster, during a US military mission, and it remains on the seabed. The ship was split in 2 and is gradually disintegrating at a depth of 12,415 feet, 3,784 m. Thousands of artifacts have been recovered and displayed at museums around the world. Titanic has become one of the most famous ships in history. Her memory is kept alive by numerous works of popular culture, including books, folk songs, films, exhibits, and memorials. Titanic is the second largest ocean liner wreck in the world, only beaten by her sister HMHS Britannic, the largest ever. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Footprints for more similar videos.